What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. It's another episode, Shootin The Sh. I got this guy right here, man. Hey, this guy works. What's going on, Drevinciwrks?
What's good, bro?
Drevinciwrks, Dre. How you been, man?
I've been all right, man.
Long
I've been
time,
all right.
long
It's been a
time
minute.
no
It's been a
see,
minute,
man. How you been, man?
You've been here from the start, bro. So like,
Hey,
I had to come down here and do this, man.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. I remember it's been a lot of shoots. We've been like just shooting different things, photography and stuff like that. So it's good to see you after a long time, but it's also good to see where you at. And we're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about how you got into like dealing with cameras, photography, videography.
So it started in college. Like I went to University of Florida, and with my fraternity, Iota Phi Theta, I was doing like everything art. Like
Right.
I was making the T-shirts, I was designing the flyers. You know, then we started doing like, cause I'm old, so it's like when Facebook first started doing video, you know what I'm saying? That's when it was like, oh, we could do commercials now.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
I was in the computer lab and I was like spending 3 hours watching a 30-minute tutorial on how to make a 5-second intro, because I wanted like our videos to look like movies. So I'm like finding the Terminator or like the Transformers intro and like remixing it into like, you know, Iota frat type of themes and stuff like that. So
which is a big thing in college, you know, when
exactly, it's like taking like those themes and like really flipping it to your org and just like getting that presentation to the people. So like that's when I knew I was in love with it, because I was like spending mad time in there, and it was like, yo, like figuring out these programs that I had no idea what they were about. At that time, it was Final Cut 7.
Okay.
This is where Final Cut looked more like Premiere Pro now.
Yeah.
It had the like different tracks and different things or whatever, and like just more control. Now Final Cut is more like user friendly, and I kind of need control.
Yeah, I was about to say, because when I originally got onto Final Cut, it was probably like, it was later than that, but it was probably like 2014 maybe. And at that time, it was my introductory into like editing and stuff like that. I was like, this is not really for me. I forgot which is the original one I started off with, but shout out to Sage. She kind of helped me out with kind of getting my editing to where it is now, and getting comfortable with Premiere Pro and stuff like that. But go ahead and finish what you was on.
So like, so I was working in Final Cut, then I transitioned to Sony Vegas Pro, because it was it was free. It was free. So like at that time, like you had to buy Premiere Pro and all this stuff. So I was like, all right, well, I can get this free Sony Vegas, don't rip it or what have you. So I remember like when I used to edit videos, somebody would ask me like, yo, what do you edit on? And I'm like, oh, Sony Vegas. And they kind of looked at me funny like, oh man, that's amateur stuff. But then they saw the video, they was like, wait, you made this on Sony Vegas? So it's like those affirmations is like, it was like, oh, okay, like I got something here. Right. You know? And like the camera stuff was just secondary. It's like, well, I just gotta get the footage to get into the editor, and then I can make it what it is. And then people started to recognize my eye, and like shout out to Sebastian. He told me, one of my frat brothers, he told me, yo, Dre, you gotta take the camera seriously. Like you gotta start learning how to use the camera. So that's where I just started like studying crazy, like about photography, about videography, cinematography, just like every aspect of the camera. And like at first it was daunting. I was like, damn, how am I gonna
them YouTube videos?
It's like you gotta watch 5 YouTube videos to learn one thing that you're trying to do. You know, so it's like
everybody's gonna explain it in their own kind of different way.
Exactly. So at first I was like, damn, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But now it's like they really like, you got to put those 4 years in, you know, so those 10,000 hours.
That's a fact.
So now like I could teach anybody like from scratch how to be a photographer or videographer, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, that's what like I just really dialed into it.
Which one do you like in being from that aspect, and then now you're here, which one did you kind of like lean into more? Because you still take pictures now, you still do videos now, you do editing now, directing now. So which one do you kind of like lean into more?
Oh, man, it's tough, man. It's like asking like a father, well, who's your favorite child? You know what I'm saying? It's like I love each aspect of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I really just lead into the camera. I say like just how the camera moves, how the camera captures things, and like how you can manipulate the camera, and like what you can do, like how to get business from the camera, like all the different aspects of like funding your life through photography, videography, editing. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, talk to me a little bit about that, because like that's a thing where like people, we've seen it where we've been out at events and then we've seen people, and we were just talking about it, people go from here to the next level in just a couple of years. Talk to me about how the work ethic goes into when you pick up this camera to then getting you to a level where you can like make money off of things now.
I feel like I really got inspired by like a lot of my friends and frat brothers who aren't really doing the more creative things, but they're like in the business world or like in medicine or like law and things like that. So I think about what do they have to do to be successful in their endeavors, and how can I do that as well with the camera? So I don't just think like, all right, let me just shoot out of the love. I'm like, all right, I have to make a living from this. Right. So I try to like network, and like I also study the market and think about, all right, how much do people charge for portraits, or how much do editors make for videos, whether it's a documentary or music video and things like that. And so I could learn the value of the things that I'm doing, and then I could infuse like, all right, how much time am I spending on this? Like I think about, like, I used to work 3 jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like Levi's, Gap, you know what I'm saying, for the county. And so it's like, I'm like, all right, I got to take that same work ethic and put it into photography, videography, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I schedule out what I do, and I'm like, all right, cool. If I'm doing this amount of time and this project takes this amount of time or whatever, I scale it like, all right, this is how much my time is worth. Right. And I try to chase after that. You know what I'm saying?
That's always been a hard thing for me. Like people ask like, okay, how much you charge? Yeah. But now that you say that, now it kind of makes sense. You have to kind of like balance out everything that you essentially have going on, and then see, okay, what can I take out and then replace with, and then say, okay, well, that's how much time it is, and then okay, that's how much.
Yeah, exactly. When you come to like how much do you charge, it's like you got to think about your living expenses and like how to break down that, and that's where you get your baseline price. But then you have another negotiation where it's like, you ask people like, well, what are you willing to spend? True. What is your budget? What is this product worth to you? You know, and then it's like, say they're like, oh, well, I have 5,000. You would have charged them probably 1,500 and left like that money on the table. Now, if you're comfortable with the 1,500, that's fine, because you know it's always a game. You know, whoever says the price first is like, you know, the one that loses. You know, but you can also upsell. It's like, if they have 1,500, you could be like, well, I could do this for 1,500, but if you had 3,000, I could do this, and this. You know, so it's like you always gotta like have those counters. You know, like in basketball, if like the defender like cuts off your right, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be able to cross to your left. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be able to counter, you know? So
I understand that totally. And talk like, so you started off college, and then now speak to kind of like just fast forward a little bit to like when, you know, you're starting to be at like events, festivals, even personal shoots when you following around the artists and stuff like that. Talk to me about how did that like transition from that to then now you are moving around, you moved. Talk to me about that.
So my first like big event that I went to was Revolt Music Conference. And like one of my frat brothers, he met the VP of media and gave us like an all access pass as far as like just going to the event. And they were like, yeah, no cameras allowed, but like everybody that was there had cameras. So
I went to one before you.
Everybody had their cameras. So it's like I was like, you know, let me shoot my shot. And so like literally, so I had my camera out and I was taking pictures of people. And because at that time I knew what I needed to do to like if I'm far away, I know I have a 70-200, I could like shoot and still get portrait shots of people. So I was taking pictures and like uploading them in real time. Like I'll rip them off my camera with my phone and like upload them.
That's the key to a lot.
And it's
a lot of people don't realize that the camera can do a lot of things for you in real time.
In real time. So like celebrities would see my stuff at that time, like as soon as they got off stage from the panel that they were on, and be like reposted. Right. So that's what gave me my traction. Right. You know, there was a time where it's like I saw Diddy at the welcoming ceremony for a Revolt Music Conference, and he was all the way across the lawn, like mad people in between me and him. So I'm like, oh man, like I'm gonna get my shot of him like later on in the weekend. Right. But then like he said something, he was like, yo, this is the weekend to shoot your shot and chase after it. You know, so when he said that, I was like, all right, let me go get my shot. I went through the crowd. I got all the way to the front of the crowd and like got pictures of him presenting like DJ Khaled with the Key to the City and different things like that.
I know which one.
Yeah. So it's like, so from there I was like, all right, I always gotta like go after the shot. You know what I'm saying? Me and like another friend always say like, there's no easy shots. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta work after this and like really like chase after it. You gotta climb a scaffold or like get on the ground to get a dope angle. Like you gotta go after it. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking about scaffolding, there's a picture that came out with artists like jumped off of some stuff. You remember that?
Yeah. So so I'm at Rolling Loud, and like I'm taking pictures of Lil Uzi Vert, and he's on stage, and I have my telephoto on, so I'm focused on him. I'm shooting. Then he disappears. I'm like, yo, what happened? When I put my camera down, he's running past me and like climbs this like.
So mind you, you're in the pit.
I'm in the photo pit. Okay. I'm in the photo pit. So he runs past me through the photo pit and like climbs this 20-foot scaffold where the media center is, and like I'm like, all right, well I gotta capture. I gotta capture this. And so he jumps off into the crowd, like perfect. And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Just like shooting him, like falling into the crowd, and it was just like a crazy moment in the shot. And it was just like being ready for moments like that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Talk to me about another moment that was kind of like that.
A moment where I missed, I'll talk about, is there was a moment where I was shooting at Ultrafest. You know, because I used to get to all these different events in Miami. So Ultrafest is a EDM party, you know what I'm saying? Like, like
you know,
crazy vibes. Crazy vibes, you know?
If you've been to Miami, that's the vibe.
That's the vibe. So Will Smith was there. He just got off stage with Marshmello, and like I'm backstage waiting to like get my bag so I could like go home for the night. I'm done with the night. And I see like a group of people coming in the shadow, but it's like I can't see who it is. As soon as they hit the light, it's Will Smith with a whole crowd of people like behind him, like a stampede of people. And it's like everybody's trying to get in front of him, but like they're not letting them. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like an epic shot. I have the only vantage point.
Just so you're explaining it, I already see it.
I have the only vantage point. And I froze. This is the first time I ever froze, and never again did I freeze like this. Because like I always looked at Will Smith like, yo, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like, yo, why he don't love me, man? Like that episode, like, classic. So it's like,
I can understand why.
I froze, and like by the time I did pick up my camera, he had already turned to like get onto the yacht, and then got on his like private boat and like cleared it or whatever. And it was just like, damn, I missed that moment. So now it's like, I try not to miss no moments, you know what I'm saying? So
you gotta get them shots, man.
Yeah.
And let's talk about like, cause you talked about you with that epic shot that you took with Uzi. You had said you was using a 70-2.
70-200 lens.
About what we got here today.
So today I have an R5 Canon with a 24-70 RF lens on it. I got a Pro Photo flash.
This is what you use for photo and video?
Yeah, this is what I use for photo and video right now. So Pro Photo flash, pretty expensive flash, but it's reliable. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dealing with AA batteries anymore and having to change those out. Like it lasts long, and it produces a very like great color cast with the light, really bright, and just like spreads. You know what I'm saying? It has a light dome on it that's like makes it soft, and it's just dependable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's kind of what you need, especially like when you're moving around. A lot of times, I'm pretty sure you get a call and then you have to kind of be on go.
Yeah.
You work with an artist.
Mm-hmm.
You work with Fab a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk to me about like how that relationship built, because for me it was just like, oh snap, he's shooting. And the good thing about him, he shows love to anybody who's like a lot of people don't be tagging a photographer, videographer who does the work for them. But it's dope that, you know, that happened. And when I started to see that, I'm like, okay, that's dope. But then when I started to see it a little bit more, I'm like, what's going on here?
So that really started like 1 year Art Basel. This is the time period where I was just shooting my shot. You know what I'm saying? So I went to this event at Art Basel.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, you gotta shoot your shot.
If you didn't know, you gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah, every time.
Go ahead.
It's just the way you go about it, which I'll explain. It's like, so I went to this event with one of my homeboys, and they said Fabulous was gonna be there. So I'm there with my camera, just hoping, like, I'm not sure. This is my first time in these spaces where celebrities actually come to events and stuff, because I just grew up listening to these people. Like, I got mixtapes with Fab versus Cassidy versus J Hood and all this stuff or whatever. So it's like, I went to this event, I got my camera, this lady comes up to me, Neela G, shout out to her, she's a dope person in the media space in Miami. And she's like, yo, are you media? So I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, always say yeah. Always say yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the best finesser, but sometimes you gotta finesse some situations or what have you.
I'm missing a pass, actually.
Yeah. I didn't get my pass at the door. You know, just play along with it until you can. So I have my camera. She's like, all right, yeah, we're gonna have Fab come through here and sit right here, do whatever. So lo and behold, Fab comes in. I'm taking pictures, some video, whatever. He comes into this room. All the camera people are there, like some people to interview him and take pictures. It's my turn. I'm taking pictures of him. He got these 72 and 1011s on before they drop, obviously. And it's like, oh, that's kind of crazy, you know? And so after I took my pictures, I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm like, I got like 5 pictures and I was done. And so my homeboy got like locked outside because he left him for some reason. So I was like, oh, I don't want to leave him out there. And like, I went outside. Fab comes outside, and instead of trying to talk to Fab, I introduced myself to his, at the time, videographer / music video director, Gerard Victor.
Got to know the people around the people.
And like, he didn't have to do this, but he was like, yo, like, send me your stuff, send me your pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like, I'll take a look at them, but I'll have Fab post them. Right. And so like, he didn't have to do that. He could have just, you know what I'm saying, brush me off, just be like, oh man, like, I don't know this guy, whatever. Gatekeeper type stuff, but he really was like, yo, let me see the picture. So I sent them to him. Mind you, I was just getting into the photography stuff, so they were kind of trash.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
But you here today.
You know what I'm saying? They were kind of trash, but he gave me the critique, and I was forged in the fire. So like, critiques, they don't bother me. They're not gonna make me cry or make me quit. Especially or whatever.
If you knew and you just got presented with that opportunity. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, bet. So I took his advice. And like, he was mad, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was humbled by that, because he was like, yo, like, to him, he's like, who am I to like, for somebody to take my advice? But I'm like, yo, you're in a position that I want to be in one day, so why would I not? You know what I'm saying? So that whole year, I kind of like had him as a mentor, just like giving me tips and stuff like that. And then fast forward, that following year, I got into another event that Fab was gonna be at, took some pictures, sent it to Gerard. He sent it to Fab. Fab was like, yo, these are dope. I like his angles and things like that. So it's like, then like, I got hired to like shoot for him that weekend. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's when like, I got some pictures of him on the runway with the private jet and different things like that. So fast forward, like, I started shooting for him more and more when he was in Miami. And then 2019, I decided to go up to New York for Fashion Week. Last minute, like literally, like it was a Wednesday. I was like, all right, let me just go up for this weekend. I asked if I could stay with Gerard, and he's like, yeah, no problem, man. You can crash on the couch. Go there. I get into some stuff. He's like, yo, stay for a couple more days. We got a video to shoot for Fab. All right, bet. I'm gonna shoot some behind the scenes. Cool. And then that Thursday, he's like, yo, Dre, I got good news and bad news. The bad news is you can't go back to Florida right now.
Jeez.
The good news is Def Jam is gonna hire you to do behind the scenes in Africa for the rest of the Fab video. And you know what I'm saying? So after like, we was there for like a week.
Hey, good news. I got good news and I got some more good news.
Yeah, exactly. After that, they were like, yo, you might as well just him and this dude Marley, who's like a music producer and executive producer for the production company Shot Select. They were like, yo, just stay up here. And at that point, I felt like I built myself enough in Miami.
You was already, like I said, you was already working in Miami. You was already getting better. You taking critiques here and there and learning as you go. And then now you presented with this opportunity.
Exactly. And then I was like, all right, bet, let's go. You know what I'm saying? I had quit my job the year prior. So now I was fully all in, and I just didn't come back. I've been up there ever since. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And just how did that like feel? Just outside of just like being a fan of him, but just knowing, hey, I was doing this a couple years ago, and I just stuck with it. I kept learning. I put myself out there. I exposed myself to different events and different atmospheres to try my work. And then now I'm presented with this opportunity, and now this is where I live. This is what I do on a day-to-day, just from, like you say, you're working 3 jobs. Yeah. Now this is what I do. I mean, you're probably working 3 jobs now, essentially. Yeah. But it's more of what you want to do. Not what you have to do.
Exactly. I mean, it was kind of surreal because it's like, I'm working with the people that I grew up listening to, you know, and like, I felt like this was me kind of giving back to the culture that raised me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like super into music, super into hip hop. So it was just like me trying to like capture the culture. You know what I'm saying? Because I have an art background, like
one shot at a time.
Yeah, one shot at a time. Like capture the culture, one shot at a time. You know, immortalizing the culture. So I grew up with an art background, studying art history, and so I just think about the ancient Greeks and when they would like really use art, and just art over the span of time period. Everybody uses art to like capture the moments in history that are happening. So I try to use that like when I'm taking pictures of anybody, then whether it's a celebrity or just normal people, just whoever, I want them to feel like that celebrity when I'm taking pictures of them. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I try to make people bigger than life and just like really capture the essence of them. Like if you think about Alexander the Great, where they talk about, well, in real life he wasn't really like that big of a person, but any paintings you see, like he's of great stature, because it's like, it's not about who, like how they are like in the normal reality, but it's like how their persona is perceived.
Manipulate.
Exactly.
Like you said.
Yeah. So like that's been my aim, you know what I'm saying? And through like the help of like the opportunities that I've gotten through Fab and like, you know what I'm saying, his manager Big Fendi, you know what I'm saying? It's just like grown over time, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I literally have a Mount Rushmore of people that like, you know what I'm saying, like are like pivotal to like my growth in this industry. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's key to acknowledge and appreciate.
Exactly. Like it was like, if it wasn't for me to be humble and like take those critiques from Gerard, like I could have been like, oh nah man, this is my style, like you hating, whatever, you gatekeeper, like whatever. It's like, nah man, like you like there's levels to this. You're always learning. No matter if you're younger than me, older than me, I feel like I can learn from anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm like a sponge to just different techniques and just different ways to go about things, whether it's the creative side, whether it's the business side. Like there's always something that could be tightened up or like be made better. You know, like I look at like Martin Scorsese is like still making movies. You know what I'm saying? Still making movies, big movies. So you know what I'm saying? So he not quitting. Like how can I feel like I've accomplished? You know what I'm saying? Like so it's like you gotta always strive for more and like make new goals for yourself and just push for greater. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And before we get out of here, I just wanted to touch on one thing. When Drevinci is not behind the camera, he's not behind the computer, he's not on set of any video shoot in any country. What is Dre doing, or what would Dre be doing if, you know, when he's not doing?
So I'm like big into sneakers. So I'm like really like, and I'm trying to like mold that with the photography stuff now. It's like I'm like chasing after sneakers, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because I seen on your Instagram just the other day, somebody you was somewhere and somebody was like, yeah, Dre got me today.
Oh yeah. I was like somewhere shooting a pilot for a show, and like we had like, it was a 2-day set. Yeah. So the first day, like, you know, I saw somebody come through with some crazy kicks.
Said, hold on,
and I was like, I was stepping out kind of light and regular, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh man, like I gotta show out this next day, you know what I'm saying? So I brought back some like old joints, like some like cigar 6s or whatever like that. Cause I'm like, people could hang with me like with the clothes and stuff, like y'all can have that. Y'all can have the Amiri and all that stuff. But it's like, when it comes to the feet, like I try to step out, you know what I'm saying? So big I'm heavy into sneakers, but like honestly, bro, like it's weird to say, but it's like this camera is the fun stuff that I do. Right. You know what I'm saying? So even when I'm not working with it, I'm like still like for fun, I'm learning about more camera stuff, more cinematography, looking up more ancient artwork and like art history stuff to like get more references in my head. Like that's stuff like I really enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really working my dream job.
Right.
So it's not like there's nowhere I go that my camera don't come with me. Like if I leave it somewhere, I'm like, damn man, I feel like weird. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I could be. I see the world.
Because anytime, because that's a funny thing. Like I can't watch movies because of this guy right
here.
Yeah. But I can't watch movies because like
shout out Ricky.
Of course, shout out. But I always am thinking of behind the lens.
Yeah.
I'm not even, and sometimes I can't enjoy movies because I'm like, okay, so why'd you write that?
Yeah.
Why'd you say that?
Why'd you say that right there? What was the decision that you made to do that? You know what I'm saying?
I always figure out what's about to happen. Well, but 9 times out of 10, I can figure out what's about to happen just because of like how I've been around all these people that involve themselves in different aspects of film and videography and stuff like that. So now it's just, for me, it's just like, man, okay.
But I still get impressed by things though. There's like, when I watch Nope,
it's the action stuff that gets you.
The action stuff that gets you, but like, it's also like how they play with sound design and like suspense in that movie. Like when they're in the barn
I think that's the crucial factor from that director. He plays with a lot of like sound. Like sound is like one of his bigger things to like grasp people in and draw people into the story.
Exactly. Like when this dude is like looking for with the noise that's happening in the barn and then like the joints pop out, that got me.
Yeah.
That got me. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Like this is crazy. And then from there I was in it. So it's like I still get impressed. You know what I'm saying? I watch a lot of like different shows and just like movies while I'm learning from it, like seeing different shots and just seeing like how they use the camera. And like I study people like Roger Deakins, who's like a epic DP with lighting and just cameras and movement. And so I also just look into like just everything with the media.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything with the camera, with the editing, just always try to up my editing software or my
one
setup.
Time I seen this edit from this guy. I said, yo, did that? I said, well, I think it was it might have been the motorsport joint. I think that was the first one that really like said, oh yeah, he's out of here.
So motorsport, that was my first label gig.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, for a music video.
Yeah.
It was motorsport, Migos featured Nicki Minaj and Cardi B.
RP Takeoff, for real.
You know, RP Takeoff. And that was just a crazy moment. We were there from like 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. the next day. I was still working my full-time job, so I had to like call them and be like, yo, I'm gonna be a little late.
So what?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but that was like such a big moment for me. It was just like, oh man. And like at that time, like I had opportunities to shoot behind the scenes for a couple of videos, but they would always fall through. It's like, oh man, like the video date changes or they don't have the budget, whatever happened.
Right.
I was in the Universal Music System. And so from there, I got the call for Drake God's Plan, which was super top secret. They hit me on Friday, like, yo, we got a video on Monday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to do this.
Right.
They couldn't tell me who it was or whatever. So I was just like, all right, bet. Like, I'm in. I got out of work. I had my managers were cool with it. So got a call sheet, saw that it was Drake, but they said he was doing a lot of philanthropy in Miami. So still didn't know it was a music video. And it was 3 days. A lot of people think like, oh, he just did this for the music video, but no, like he really was changing people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Like
you saw the tears.
The third day, the whole crew, we all was crying. Shout out to the director, Karita Evans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all were like, damn, like this is crazy. Just seeing like the people that he was reaching from the schools, the like, you know what I'm saying, the basketball players. Like we went to a grocery store and he bought out the whole grocery store for people to just like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just crazy. Like just speaking to these families that lost everything, and he was just like, just giving them money and like more money and resources and things like that. It was just like, nah, this was like an epic moment that I got to like be around and capture. You know what I'm saying? So from that, it was just like, it was just up, man. Like any music video that came down here, I was like on set shooting behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that was like the start, and now it's like I'm directing now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like.
And what is the next level? What is the next thing that you kind of wanna? Is this that level, or is there?
Well, the directing side is definitely like that next plateau that I'm like trying to like master. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have a lot of people that I look up to when it comes to directing that are like mentor me and like things like that, or from afar, or like, you know what I'm saying, like actual mentors or what have you. So now it's just like taking the things that I've learned and applying it more and more and more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to shoot and direct as many videos next year as I can. So if you're an artist out there, you know what I'm saying, like
Drevinciwrks.
Yeah, I really work. You know what I'm saying? I'm working for you. Like I want to make you the biggest thing. So it's like that's what you get with me. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that actually cares about the culture, cares about the artist, cares about the craft, and cares about like, you know what I'm saying, like how they're seen. Right. Because at the end of the day, these are advertisements for the artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you gotta like put them like at the forefront of it. You know, like you can't like just think like, oh, this is my art or whatever. Like, no. This is for them. Like you could be artistic,
right?
But like make sure like you're focused around like what it's supposed to be about, which is the artist. Right. You know, so
hey, like you said, he works.
Yeah.
And in the great words of Diddy, this is the time, this is the moment to shoot your shot. Man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for your time.
No problem, bro. Appreciate you.
Another episode, man. Shooting the shit, my guy Drevinci.
Thank you.